80s, 90s, 2K today. Good morning. It's the Magic Valley's Hot 100 FM early morning show. It's Poison. The other day, you reported that the Twin Falls City Council made what really was a shocking decision to say no to the contract that Big Ed Beckley was throwing out there. And so rather than just wonder about it or throw out ideas we have no basis for, we said, hey, let's get a hold of someone that's on the city council and find out. So Suzanne Hawkins is on the phone. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So first off, why? Why did the city council decide to say to Big Ed?
Well, when we started looking at this, people came to us and asked us for permission to use our land. And we really at that time weren't in a position to understand what all that meant. So we agreed to work through a process and sort through information and find out what exactly that would cost us as a city, as well as the benefits, and weigh it. When we decided that Beckley Media was the group we were going to work with, we set a deadline for the end of January for them to meet certain criteria. And when that deadline came around, 5 of the 7 of us just did not feel like they had met the criteria we set out with.
What were your biggest concerns about the criteria that he wasn't meeting?
Well, we kept asking for a traffic safety plan and how he was going to help protect the homeowners along the canyon rim. There were some businesses that would definitely benefit from the event. There were other businesses that were definitely going to be hurt. And we were looking for a fair trade-off on it. And we felt like we were leading the show instead of having him bring us information. We had to keep going out of our way to try to gather it. And it wasn't our event to have to do that with. Our police have put in so many hours on his security plan because he failed to present one to us that it was getting more and more cumbersome and more expensive to the city. And we agreed at the beginning we were not going to do that. We just felt like, I think, it would be a fun event to have, and at first I was really excited, but when you start looking at the logistics of it and what all the pieces are it takes to put an event that size together, and we were given numbers, well, we're going to have 40,000 people one week, well, we're going to have 70,000 people the next week, and it just felt like we weren't getting narrowed down to definite answers that we needed so that we could make sure we were staffed properly to handle the event, and it just wasn't happening.
So we had a debate the other day. I think it was yesterday. We were debating on how the crime rate in 1974 what happened in 74 during the Evel Knievel jump affect how you guys made the decision?
No, it did not.
Okay.
This is a totally different group of people. It's a different mentality. The Hells Angels are not what they were back in 74, and we all know that. There were bad decisions made on a lot of sides, Twin side, on the event itself. That never weighed into our consideration. I know there's lots of rumors that the Scott and Scott jump is what set us off. That had nothing to do with it. That's a totally separate event. This was really about, as a council, we did not feel like the requirements we set out for the end of the January deadline had been met, and that we were spending too much city time not doing our jobs, not doing what we're paid to do because we were taking care of Beckley Media.
Oh, okay.
And they were exclusively taking us away from our jobs, our strategic plan, the goals we had set for our city this year. We're not meeting any of our personal goals because we're so busy trying to take care of his goals.
What if someone says, hey, okay, now that he's not doing it, can, Miles Dasher do it, or can someone else still step up and offer that plan?
Miles Dasher is our number 2 pick, and right now, if I had to feel the temperament of the council, I would say it's split. Some of the council members think we should still move forward and give him a chance. Personally, I don't think anyone at this point in time can come up with what is needed to make that jump happen in September. There's just too much work that needs to be done in too short of amount of time.
All righty. And what about the stuff, I've been reading some editorials in the paper that say that the council's actions have kind of made us look silly in the Magic Valley. What do you think about that?
Well, we've tried to make everything that we've done, all of our decisions, all of our discussions very public. We air them on the website. We air them on Channel 17 on cable. We have tried to have good dialogue, and I think if anybody has followed our process through, they can see that we have really worked hard to try to make something good for Twin. It's just not feasible with the resources we have, unfortunately.
Well, I would like to offer an alternative. I would like to have the Hot 100 FM giant potato launching event that same weekend.
Ooh, now that sounds like fun.
Baked potatoes, so when they hit the other side.
Oh.
You know, there's already a target on the other side of the canyon.
I didn't know that. No, I want one that is giant. I want a giant target.
Well, this one's not giant, but somebody has already gone to the work of putting a target out there.
We'd end up with mashed potatoes, baked potatoes on one side and mashed potatoes on the other. Should have a giant bowl over there with butter.
Or anything with potatoes, so you could have a giant shepherd's pie section.
We can compete with all these pumpkin tosses that happen in the fall.
Pumpkin schmumpkin.
Exactly.
Pumpkins are for silly people. Potatoes are where it's at.
Everybody who hates their casserole dish, now's the time to get rid of it.
Well, Suzanne, thanks for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
You bet.